Well, now that we've seen the Dune trailer, it's time to do a bit of a deep dive onto the gameplay that Dune Awakening has to offer. And we've got a video here from Game V. This video will be linked in the description. Make sure you go give them a like, chat. Let's see what we've got. Say hi, YouTube.
Now we're going to jump ahead a little bit in the story here, skipping past several events just to sort of get into the early new player experience of the game. And you'll see that the player, after various shenanigans, wakes up here in a cave.
Sure.
And as we sort of look around the cave, we'll notice that it's filled with Fremen and the remnants of,
Fremen.
this ancient culture.
I don't see any Fremen. I see a bat. Cutscene so far. Game doesn't look terrible. I like the visuals. Oh, there's a Fremen. Okay.
So now as the player takes their first steps in the world...
Oh, he's dead, dude.
They're really here amongst the dead. And so the first question they should be asking is, what happened here? Who are these people?
Sure. Good story.
And, this is just a place where we give players a little bit of time to adjust their settings, get a feel for the movement keys, and then move forward into the cave. And they'll stumble upon their first major interaction point, which is the Frem Kit. The Frem Kit in our game serves as both a backpack for the player, of course, but also really a guide. The Fremen used to pack these with interesting objects that they could use to survive in the desert, and it's no different from the player.
This is the tutorial. I love that we're getting to see this. I really like this. So we start off, it just like in Dark Souls, you start and you don't know what the hell you're doing, and then you get the Estus, and then you get a little thing. It kind of eases you into stuff. So look, scrap metal knife. You just have this crappy metal knife. Okay, so we got some damage per hit, attack speed. Good. We can see the stats of things get higher and higher as stuff goes. And then you get like a gauze wrap to heal up stuff. Okay.
So here they begin their first crafting experience, crafting a small scrap knife.
Okay.
Out of metal that was in the Frem Kit.
Sure. Yep. Zoom.
These caves have been moisture sealed in order to preserve
sick.
the moisture of those within the cave. And so the player, as they explore, will be able to use their scrap metal knife to pierce.
Oh, let's go. That's pretty sick. A glow tube. A tube of glow. Okay, so you have to I love the idea that when you start, you have to hold a glow stick in your hand. Maybe as you tech up, you have a light in your Frem Kit that you can turn on, and that's the better one. So far, so Gucci, chat.
Pierce the seals.
This is the question we're trying to answer. Is game good from an outside standpoint? I said this in the last video that we did for Dune Awakening. I will pre-order, let me punch my mic. I will pre-order the game. I will play the game. I will cover the game and give you honest reviews. If you are just not sure, don't buy the game. Let me do it, see my reviews, and we'll go from there. Okay?
And escape.
Okay, tutorial.
So really this entire area, built using Unreal Engine 5, is just to sort of get the player and ease them into the path. A lot of survival games have very abrupt...
we're going to talk about animations. The animation's a little clunky. You're kind of What I'll tell you is that stuff can be improved with time. If the core of the game, if the combat is good, then the animations of the walking person doesn't really matter to me, right? In the long term, that's fixable. When we played Vanguard, EVE Vanguard for the first time, we're primarily an EVE Online channel. Check out those guides. Vanguard, at the core of it, was fun. It was snappy shooting, good stuff. Hit reg was doing decent enough for an alpha game. Even though the animations weren't great, it was still good. So even if the animation is I am here to get spice. I am, where's the thing?
I am here to get the spice. Give me spice. The spice controls the world.
Maybe it might start out like that, but then down the line we will get there. Okay.
Abrupt, very harsh beginnings. And we tried to, make the experience of joining Dune Awakening just a little easier. Just give people a little bit of a feel for the world before we really toss them out into the harshness.
Yep, you get to see how to craft healing kits. Tutorial.
So here we've crafted a heal kit, and we're going to use that to heal our character.
Health bar.
And once we're healed, you'll see that our stamina bar in the bottom left appears. And
does that mean if your health is too low, your stamina bar doesn't exist, so you can't climb, I assume? Maybe.
We have stamina. So you can climb.
Climbing. From the makers of
Conan
Conan Exiles.
Dune Awakening is based in part on the one that we built for Conan Exiles. It's a free-form climbing system.
Great.
It can be used to climb almost anywhere. And as you'll see later, The new technology available in Dune Awakening, such as suspensor belts, allows us to do even more interesting things with traversal.
Right, you start with the basics. I like that they're giving you an introduction to like the systems. We got to talk about how it's good that Ark Survival does gathering really well, where like if there's something there, you press E, it just goes right into your inventory. Don't make me sit there and do stuff. If you have to mine to open up the rock, that's different than if it's on the ground. Don't make me like, stop, bend down, pick up. Stop, bend down, pick up. You know, like let me just keep it going. So who's the studio making Dune Awakening? Funcom, I think. The same guys that made Conan Exiles, right? Yes. Right. Yes, The Witcher style. Yeah, that was a good, was a good system. Yes. Plant fibers, okay.
So once we've finished that first little section, we're jumping ahead. We're going straight into the harsh real world of Arrakis. And here are your first steps on Arrakis.
Okay.
Your ornithopter has crashed, and you've got to escape from the crash site immediately, because the Sandworm always comes. And what you have to keep in mind is, these are the little ones. So these are the first Sandworms you encounter in the game. There's bigger ones later on.
Must be heat exhaustion.
The other thing that you have to pay attention to as a player is sunstroke and heat.
Yeah.
So if you see in the top middle of the UI here, we've got this sunstroke bar building up. The longer you stay in the sunlight, the more chance you have of getting into this sunstroke state. And of course, our player here, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, has decided to stay in the sun and try harvesting water from plants. So he has become sunstroked.
And we have a debuff. Okay.
Sunstroke gives you a debuff. It means that your water goes down much faster than it normally would. That means you'll need to drink more.
We did see the thumpers in the last trailer we looked at, okay? We saw that was more like me being excited. This video was more about, go watch that video. This is more about me going like, how is the game? What's there? What's the gameplay like?
More often. So stick to the shadows.
Yep.
Avoid the sun.
We need some water. The guy's running low on water.
It will eventually
right
wear
here,
off if you stay in shade long enough.
Some stone, some fiber. Got to craft.
So now that we've made our way out of the first part of the desert and we're heading deeper in, we're going to start to harvest in the game world. So harvesting in a lot of these survival games.
Look at this. You're making noise. See that? See this right here? You're making noise, which can attract the sandworm. Okay.
This is quite similar. In this case, we're picking up items, but we're about to pull out what's known as the cut array. And what we do with the cut array is we analyze structures to find their weak points, and then we cut along those lines to break open the structures.
Look, that's the Fortnite gathering. Let's just be honest. You have the thwack in the right spot, but it's like applied. And now that I'm looking at it, this kind of looks like Fortnite because Unreal Engine 5, right? I like that. Yes, instead of just like, is there a thing in front of me? I click it. Let's watch that again because that was pretty sick. You analyze it. It reveals a weak spot.
What we do with the cut array is we analyze structures to find their weak points, and then we
kind of Vanguard does that too. This is really sick. And then when you hit the weak spot, you get, look, we got 40 medals, 10 XP. So it gives you XP doing the stuff. That was pretty sick. That was pretty sick.
Cut along those lines to break open the structures and gain
take on looting.
Inside.
Yes.
This is like mining. We apply it both to rocks.
Oh, you're about to get heat exhaustion again, bro.
In the game world. And at the start of the game as a player, you'll just be scrounging around, picking up,
of course,
finding structural weak points.
I gotta tell you, it's one of my favorite parts. The early game, when you got nothing, no expectations, no crazy expensive gear, none of that kind of stuff. Just you mining some rocks. Some of my favorite times, right?
Rocks that you can harvest, breaking them apart, and taking those pieces with you. Now we've jumped ahead a little bit.
Same with rocks.
And we see that the player is starting to be affected by the spice in the air. And this means that players need to get somewhere safe, in shelter.
Sure.
Before the spice overwhelms them and overwhelms their senses.
What happens then?
And this is another large part of the game. We're not going to show too much of it today.
What if I want to be Lisan al frickin' Gaib, chat? What if I want to do that? That's kind of cool. So the spice affects you. It's another status effect. I assume then you can get armor that filters out the spice. That you can probably have better skill trees that let you use the spice for certain things. We haven't seen any of the skills yet. Is that in here? Building system, crafting, dynamic flower sand, sure. Desert testing stations. We'll see.
But spice is a very important part.
It overwhelms me. And then you get stunned.
Broken apart by the War of Assassins. There are NPC bases scattered all over.
Yo, you could be Harkonnen Baldman.
We're switching to a different character now. one who's slightly more advanced, and he's using his binoculars to mark an NPC outpost. We're going to mark that. That marker will then appear on our compass, and you're able to approach them in any way you like. In this case, our character uses a Shigawire claw combined with a suspensor belt.
Yes! Grapple. There is a graph about video games that the amount of grapple hooks in the video game is directly proportioned to how good the game is. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like here we see a video game in its natural environment. Here we see that if the video game has much grapple and zero grapple, and this is fun. And I can see this color is not working, so we will switch to red. We do fun. As you can see in this very technical graph, the more grapples that are in the game, the more fun the video game has. The more grapple hook in video game, the more you will enjoy said game. It looks like we will have a good time in Dune Awakening, Chad. What the heck, dude? That's gonna be fun. Oh, man.
To get up to high ground and approach the enemy base from above. Kind of one of the interesting things about Dune Awakening
Crouching.
is just how you can combine the different abilities. And this is how traversal really plays into the game. Like, you end up being able to attack these bases from any angle.
I need to pause and look. So it's like Far Cry style, right? Just because grapple shenanigans, exactly. And you saw how he grappled into the slow fall thing, into like the grav floater, whatever. Construction tool, darts, sick. Most ranged weapon, knife. Provides power to equipment, torch, respawn beacon. Yo, you can like, hey, I want to respawn here. That's pretty sick.
That you'd like. Now, our
Pistol. Look, I'm going to pause a lot, so if it's not your cup of tea, watch the video yourself, right? We're just going to
player is
keep
going
pausing.
to craft the first gun.
I got to look at it. We're going to craft the first gun. Darts, semi-automatic. This is all new. There's rate of fire, clip size, reload speed, effective range, accurate. This is all standard RPG stuff, but these are questions we had. Is this the pistol a pistol? Looks like there's more to it, and there's stats involved. 3V, maybe 3 volts. You have to power it, maybe?
In the game, known as a Mauler pistol,
Okay.
which translates to, the basic kind of weapon in the game.
Mm-hmm.
As you may know, in Dune, bullets are not the preferred type of ammunition. Instead, it's darts,
Yes.
which are fired at a slower rate in order to try and attempt to pierce
It's like
shields.
sneaking in, right?
Now, this early in the game, enemies don't really have shields.
My
so the
favorite.
player's going to sneak into the base from above and use a combination of their early abilities. In this case, dropping out a grenade,
Sick.
then sneaking around the corner, and beginning to get into NPCs head on.
Nice. Okay. We saw he used it, and now there's a cooldown. So similar to the Division or Destiny, there's like I love this over-the-shoulder style combat. Some of my favorite stuff because you feel like you're the character, but you can still see the progression of stuff. So he popped that guy in the head. Some good, interesting headshots there after he grenaded the other guy. That was pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
Now, troopers are the basic shock troops of the universe, and their ability trees reflect that.
Okay.
Grenades, Shigawire claws for moving around, and of course, they're able to take down people with headshots.
Right.
You can see how suspensor belts really allow you to change your approach to combat.
Cool. Grenade out. Yep. Gotta tell ya.
Dune Awakening is at heart a third-person shooter
Looks pretty
with
good.
melee and abilities. And it's the combination of melee, abilities, and range shooting
Gotta tell you, that looks pretty good, dude. Okay.
that creates what we call combined arms.
How do you heal? He's very injured. This Q thing, was that? Go back. This Q thing, was that how he moved fast? Look right here. I'm muting it so we can just focus on it. Q was the grapple. So he's got an 8-second cooldown on this grapple. Okay, all right.
And it's the combination of melee, abilities, and range shooting that creates what we call
He's very low
combined
health.
arms
That
in
was
the
pretty
game.
sick. Mass Effect vibes. Good thing, right?
Now we've taken a fair bit of damage in
Uh-huh.
this battle, so we're going to stop for a second to heal ourselves up.
Okay,
with
you gotta
bandage.
stop. I like that.
Bandages heal over time, so
Okay.
you can't just heal yourself to 100%. You have to actually get into safety, get behind cover.
I like
before
that.
you start using
It makes it more dangerous.
Now we're going
It
to
makes the combat more fluid. That's a good thing because you're not like start, stop. You're stop, do a sec, back into it. Right? It makes it more fluid. I like that. It's
quickly switch to a slightly different character
great. Okay.
to show off more of the melee that we have in the game.
Love
Because
that
you're
grenade.
about to see that when a character gets in close, it's melee time.
Love that grenade.
This
Yeah, show me-
character has
yeah.
Swordmaster abilities. First of all, the knee charge, which is about getting in close to do damage in combat.
Jeez.
And then quickly setting up to a riposte, which allows you to parry
Nice.
and return massive amounts of damage to your enemy. Of course, later in the game, when enemies have shields, melee is a much more emphasized style of combat.
That's pretty sick. The animations are still kind of meh. I'll be honest, it looks kind of clunky. I like that you have like a parry, you saw I had literally the Titan kick from Destiny where you like kick them in the face and they just drop. Still good. We're gonna have to see how that balances out because melee heavy. I mean, if everyone has guns, is it really that useful? We'll see.
And you see that when a player is not really equipped to handle range characters, they have to fall back on their abilities to get in close.
Right. Okay.
Now, we've switched again.
Grouped up.
Now we're going to switch to a set of Mentat abilities. One of these abilities
Mentat, like the smart people.
is known as Battlefield Calculation. Using Battlefield Calculation, the Mentat is able to calculate from anybody that they see what they're carrying and what they're wearing.
I don't like the sound of that.
Now we've dropped out our Hunter Seeker, and we're using our Hunter Seeker ability to take down enemies in the wall really quickly.
Hell, dude. What the? Okay, so what does this give you? This is the good PvP class, chat, because it shows you what skills they're using, what they're wearing. I'm not sure what that means. Like maybe this means like a heavy versus light armor. What their gun is very useful. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Like, can you? What's the Sherlock Mind Palace thing? We're gonna have to have those be memes. Yeah, you can literally summon long cooldown, 50 seconds. You summon out a controllable Hunter Seeker battle drone that stabs him and like takes him out. That was really sick. Pretty sick.
You hear that?
Now obviously when you're playing with a friend, you want to combine your abilities and work together.
Cool.
In this case, the Mentat's able to point out to their friend where people are in the world and how much ammo and stuff they have.
I don't
And you'll see that
yeah.
when enemies go down sometimes, they go into a down but not out state. It's up to you whether you execute them or continue to fight.
Cool. I don't see a lot of else what this ability gave. He was like, you'll see where they are. I don't see really any notification of where the enemy is. Oh, up here in the top bar. I think these might be like bad guy, right? There's like, or maybe that's just where it appears and I didn't see it, but like stuff on the top of the screen, right? Okay, so far so great, chat, honestly. Looks pretty solid from a combat standpoint. This was the question.
After a quick reload,
there it is.
Back
See?
into the battle.
Okay, so then we saw some like kind of overlays where it's a little hard to see. Let me like go to this view. I want you to be able to see the full UI. That's why I'm not like in this corner, but you can barely see like right here. There's like a little overlay that's like over this guy's head, and there's a little overlay that's over this guy's head, kind of showing where stuff is. It's just a little, it's just a little bit there. So, yeah.
With our friend coming from above, and
Yeah.
throwing out one more grenade.
Yep. Pretty cool though. Scanning. Perception bar, maybe. So I think we are, Davencio. I think we are. Exsanguination.
And once you've defeated your enemies in battle, sometimes you just got to take their blood.
Yeah. Sure. Like always, I guess.
In order to get water, the player's going to have to craft themselves this blood sack
Gross.
and this blood extractor and use it to harvest blood from their fallen enemies.
It's part of the Dune world, right, chat? Got to get that
Now,
water.
in our game, it's not always a good thing to just take blood from people. It's potentially bad and can only be used for certain things. Once you've extracted the blood, you can then, of course, drink it, as you'll see here.
Yeah.
The player takes a big sip from their blood bag.
Gross.
But when they do that, it causes a debuff because the blood is not exactly pure, and drinking blood for water is not exactly a one-to-one scenario.
Sure.
So you'll see that our health bar got shorter while our water bar went up. And so being a blood drinker is not always looked upon in the right way.
Right. Okay. I like that balance. Sure. Okay.
Of course, once you've played the game for a little while, you'll start wanting to build your own base. And the first part of that is placing down what we call a sub-fief console. A sub-fief console allows you to claim a small part of Arrakis
Bring it
as
on.
your own. But it does in turn mean that you'll start to owe taxes to the Emperor. So
Oh no, dude. Looking like rust.
here we are with our building system. And you can see that we have two types of building here. We have the holograms, which show in the beginning. I call them Solido projections
This
internally.
looks really great.
And we have the way that you fill in, which is by holding down the mouse button in this case.
This looks really great. Okay.
So The cool thing about this is it allows us to have this cooperative building system. So you'll see that one player places out the Solido projections, and the other player fills them in with the materials from their inventory.
Oh, that's great. So I can say, build this here. I don't have to worry about,
Hey man, do you have 5 wood?
No, I only got like 3 wood.
Okay, trade me what you don't
got to deal with that. You just put it, this is what I want, and your other people come in and you click a button. That's pretty sick. And right, Mr. Ken, you might have a skill about the blood thing, you know, interesting. Yeah.
People play together and build together in an interesting and exciting way.
That was sick. Ship flying around.
We've seen through our experience with Conan Exiles that some people just love to build in these games.
Me.
So we've created a system called the Blueprint Building System that allows players to save a copy of their base as one of these giant holographics.
Oh, yeah.
They can take them out into the world and place them out wherever they like and then rebuild. And we have another system in the game which allows you to take these, you know, big architectural designs of your buildings and sell them to other players on the exchange.
That's pretty sick.
Once again, this is a way to quickly move your base around the world. If you've got a design you like, you don't have to, you know, throw it out immediately.
Right.
And it allows you to create these interesting masterpieces. It also, as you can see here, allows you to, you know, if you're not artistically minded and you don't like building big bases, you can buy them from other players.
Right. That's really cool, I gotta tell you. Precisely what I asked for earlier. Yes. Similar to Once Human. Yeah. You know, so that's a good question, Dr. Gorian. Maybe we should do that tomorrow. Maybe we should do that literally on tomorrow's stream. That's
Once you finish crafting a base, you want to fill it with all kinds of machines, fabricators.
We saw this in the trailer. Yep.
And of course, harkening back to the blood extraction we just did, we've got the blood purifier.
Okay.
So what we want to do is take the blood from our blood sac and deposit it into the blood purifier, and over time, it will refine into lovely, fresh water, which we can then extract into our litogens and carry with us out into the desert. While there's many varieties of fabricators that you can use to craft things in the game, one of the most exciting things is crafting yourself a vehicle. So we're opening...
Did everybody just get like real excited when they saw the guy walking into the garage with the daggum ATV? Anybody out? Right. Harley, you and me just go, yeah.
That's
the good stuff right there, dude.
And from here, we're able to put...
I hope they took a real look at the base PvP gameplay. Conan Exiles was very built into terrain and mass hatches and walls. It's very frustrating. I hope so. I hope they fix that. So, we got a daggum sand bike, chat.
Purchase the design for a sand bike. A sand bike is...
Looks like Ark Survival. Very Ark Survival, where you spend points to acquire designs for a thing. Gotta tell you, I like that. Ark Survival, when you leveled up, you got a skill point, and you could spend the skill points on various things to unlock. So let you pick what you could build. This also meant camaraderie in your tribe was good. It looks like that's the same. So if Loru's character, I went big into crafting vehicles. I have all the designs for crafting vehicles. But remember, my buddy doesn't have to get those. I can get them, but my buddy doesn't have to get the designs. I just put the hologram in space and my buddy can contribute to build it, but I can be the guy with all the like vehicle tech. Maybe you're the weapon tech guy. Maybe you're the building tech guy. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Gonna be interesting. So I agree, Noxie. We'll see. Yes.
For a sand
That's
bike.
pretty awesome. That's solid.
A sand bike is one of the early vehicles.
I have yet to see something I don't like. Let's just be clear. You know, I have yet to see something I go, this is all
available to players in the game.
looking real good.
And you can kit it out with different types of modules, including an extra seat, which allows you to bring your friends with you.
Yes. Bring your boys.
So in this menu, you can see we're fabricating ourselves a sand bike.
Okay.
And all the different parts of the sand bike have to be fabricated individually.
Okay.
So the player is going into the menu here, they're crafting different things which will make up their sand bike. And as you can see, it prints out in this kind of 3D printer type way.
Yeah, queued up,
where
come
all
back.
the materials are turned into these particles which then come together to form the different pieces of the sand bike. And you can see it's sort of all happening in the background here. And if we go out into the world view, you can actually see the pieces forming up inside the fabricator. So a base with lots of these fabricators going is actually pretty cool and pretty busy.
It's pretty sick.
Once we've done, we jump back in, we pull things out of the queue, chuck them into our inventory, and then we use the welding tool to
It's a little clunky. We'll see how it feels. Where it's like craft, go back in, get it. We'll see. We'll see how it
place
feels.
out vehicle pieces. Now again, this is a cooperative activity. We've thought about multiplayer, so any
Right.
other player could be working with you to place modules and pieces of this bike. And so we're going to assemble this bike. But of course, when you work on larger vehicles and your friends are with you, you'll be able to work together to craft big things like transport ornithopters or sand crawlers.
And again, you can unlock different things to get bigger items, better stats, different activities. This is like the first thing you can make. I do like this. I like this. I don't think it's great. I'll have to see how it feels. Okay. So yeah, we'll see, Qualtech. We'll see. I just said there's nothing I don't like. We'll see how this feels, because it's one thing to watch it, another thing to do it.
And so we're going to add the body to this, and we're going to add an extra seat just in case we want to bring our friend with us. out
Looking
into the
good.
world. Once the bike's been assembled and fueled up, you jump on and you can head out to explore the greater areas of Iraq.
Oh, look at the sand. Let's go, dude. That looked real nice, dude. World events.
Heading out into the world to explore can be a dangerous experience. And as you explore the universe, you'll find certain dynamic events will occur. In this case, the War of Assassins has claimed a new victim, a ship which falls from the sky, spilling its loot all over the sand. So we head out there to see what we can get, to harvest and gather as much as we can.
Yeah, what can you get?
Of course, the problem is this is extremely visible to everybody in the nearby area.
Yeah.
So people will be able to see this. And so in a PvP area, you might suddenly find yourself coming.
Confirmed. There will be areas of the game that are PvE, and there will be areas of the game that are PvP. If it feels like the Dark Zone in the Division, I gotta tell you, one of my aspirations, maybe one day I make enough money that I can buy the rights to the Division and I just make the Dark Zone great again, you know? Like, if this is that but better, the Division 1 Dark Zone is one of my favorite gaming experiences of all time. It was so much fun. Run around with your buddies, moving in and out. The NPCs are tough. The players are there. Someone's sniping. Drop a smoke. It was awesome. It was just awesome. Okay, and if this is like that, ooh, let's go, dude. Let's go. We'd think that, James, right? If the bike dies, you have to craft one again. Maybe. I hope so. I hope that's the case. I hope it feels better. On a bike, it feels a little clunky, but oh no, the giant sandcrawler though. Yeah. We'll see.
into competition with other players. In a PvE area, you might just find other people competing with you to get
Right,
to the
take it
loot
all.
first.
Don't even worry about it. Okay. Same kind of deal. Slice it. Oh, he missed one. See that? He missed it, so it didn't
And
open.
of course,
Nice.
at night time,
Okay, before we move over, because the nighttime sounds fun, I'd like to see world events. I think are a really great system. One of my favorite MMOs of all time is Guild Wars 2. WoW did these two. I like the idea of having the best loot in a PvP area. I think that should happen. Or if it's in a PvE area, it should be like a world boss. Like you have to take down a sandworm or something, you know? So yeah, James, thank you. This is really great so far.
there are different kinds of threats. Because while the heat of the day is dangerous, at night, the Sardaukar patrol this area of the desert with huge spotlights, searching for players. Now this player is over here, harvesting dew with a dew reaper, sucking the water off the surface of these plants,
Yo.
and they've been captured and seen by the Sardaukar. And the Sardaukar send down troops who come floating down out of the sky to attack and destroy the players.
Bro is in a venture and got hopped on. Oh no. That's so crazy. That's pretty sick. You're just minding your business. And then look at it tractor beams you up, it like captures you, you know? That I gotta look at, that's sick. And they're just like, there he is.
I understand you have contraband. No dew harvesting in this area. Pay your dues to the Emperor.
That's really chat, that's pretty great. I gotta tell you. Okay. Wow. Here we go.
Now, of course, as mentioned, traveling on the surface at any time risks drawing a sandworm.
Show
There
me.
are certain things which we've created to draw players out of their comfort zones. So in this case, there's a special type of sand here on the surface.
Look, see it?
Known as flower sand. Flower sand, according to the books, is the softest kind of sand, and players can use it to refine it into a variety of different materials that they need for crafting. So you want to come out into the desert and you want to try and find
And
flower
look, and they're
sand.
showing you two different ways. You can palm the stuff, or you have this other thing that harvests it, a specialized tool. But you'll notice there's like a bar right here. Let me make it bigger. Look how when they
But
do
you
stuff,
have-
look how when they do stuff, you can see the sound. See how it's like, oh, it's making sound. Careful, oh, making sound. You're making noise. Like it's showing you, hey, the worm always comes, ladies and gentlemen. Pause. The worm always
You want
shows
to come
up.
out into the desert and you want to try and find flower sand. But you have to be wary and pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you harvest, you risk drawing the attention.
Where's the worm sign, dude?
Sandworm.
Where's the worm sign? Show me, dude. Show me, Shia-Lude. Where's the man's himself?
We've awoken the beast. The sandworm is coming. We spent too much time out here.
Yeah, you did.
And it's coming to get us.
Yeah, you did.
I can see in the middle of the screen the indicator showing us that the sandworm is angry. And it's coming after us. And our only option now is to get back to rocky ground.
Oh, let's
or
go.
the sandworm's going to take us.
Oh, let's go, dude. That's horrifying.
I don't know how those guys survived that. But somehow they managed to get to the safety of the rock island.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, don't pre-order games. We don't do that. I'll pre-order it. I'll play it. I'll review it. That was awesome. I gotta see it again. Show me again. I want to hear the hear the worm, because like the
Drawing the attention.
turn volume up.
We've awoken.
The visceral reaction that had in my because in the scene in Dune where Paul was walking and the worm is like, you like hear it coming. This is like, it's kind of like Thasalophobia. We were talking about this about Subnautica and the new No Man's Sky update. That's kind of how this feels. It's like the fear of the deep in this sand pit. Watch it again.
Woken the beast.
you
The
did.
sandworm is coming. We spent too much time out here.
Yeah, you did.
And it's coming to get us.
Yeah, you did.
I can see in the middle of the screen the indicator showing us that the sandworm is angry. And it's coming after us. And our only option now is to get back to rocky ground, or the sandworm's going to take us. I don't know how those guys survived that.
Yeah,
But somehow
the devs pressed the button to stop it.
they managed
That's pretty
to get
sick.
to the safety of the.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't pre-order games. I'm going to cover it. I got to tell you, I have not seen a gameplay trailer that has made me excited like this in a long time, right? Praise the maker and his water. All of us overcomes. Every single person overcomes. Is just going to be like,
Praise the maker and his water. Bless the coming and going.
everyone's just going to keep talking about it, dude.
Rock islands.
Got to tell you.
Once you've crafted your first ornithopter, you'll be able to take to the air, and your entire perspective of the world shifts.
Uh-huh.
From here, it'll make traversing the world a lot safer because you can avoid the sandworms. It'll also help you to go out into the larger world of Arrakis.
Yep.
Here we are in the overland map.
Ooh.
We're going to make our way south until we find the place known as Harko Village.
Sick.
Harko Village
It looks like this might be a fast travel map, right? This looks pretty great. This is like I'm going to travel to the place.
is the current seat of the Harkonnen, after their city, Carthage, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion during the War of Assassins.
Yep.
There's more details like that in the lore of the game for players to discover and explore.
Cool.
So we're going to land at Harko,
Sure.
and we're going to explore the social space.
Let's see it. Oh my God, so many expletives. The moment, like, just the moment the worm starts coming, it's like, dude, is that in worm? We gotta be able to. You know, it's just gonna be nothing. It's just, I'm not gonna be able to play it on stream. It looks like you might be controlling it too. Yeah, kind of interesting. We're gonna see about it. It's gonna be freaking cool, dude. I think it's gonna be very fun if it was a sped up in a battle royale format and limited features. Yeah, we'll have to, maybe they'll do like you know, like a Elden Ring is doing Night Rain, where you have like a little version of Elden Ring as like a iteratable roguelike thing. Maybe we'll see that here. We'll see. We'll see.
Once you arrive in Harko Village,
Cape looks
you'll
tight.
be able to meet up with other players, interact with them, trade, and create guilds.
Bro's got drip.
The game has a variety of social interaction mechanics, from emotes to grouping
Yes.
to a chat.
Is
Throughout
it an MMO if you can't slash dance? No. The answer is, I want to play as a worm. Hi, my name is, hi, I'd like to volunteer my services as Shy Halud. I'd like to be Shy Halud. You know, like, dude, can you imagine like a remember the game Evolve? Was that it? Where you could play as the monster, like hunting players? That would be kind of sick. Dying Light, bro, where you could PvP as the Yes. This was a good game, dude. It was fun, a bit janky, a lot of fun. Dying Light. Yeah, see, everyone is like, oh, yeah. I Googled best zombie game and that came up. Dying Light, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. They're not going to let you play as the worm, chat, but that would be kind of sick, you know. So.
Harko Village, you'll also interact with story characters,
It's a good game.
follow the main story.
Quests, vendors.
You'll be able to meet vendors
Typical.
who will sell you exotic items.
They let you live. That is interesting.
Bro, where are your eyes?
You'll be able to get a feel for how the factions are viewed in the world. And of course, you'll be able to swear allegiance to one of the major factions.
You can RP walk
the Harkonnen
up
or
to the Duke.
the Atreides.
Yep.
Swear your guild's allegiance and begin to take part in the politics of the Imperium.
Awesome. Horde versus Alliance style. Makes sense. Okay.
Once you've grouped up with friends, you should go out into the world and find desert Imperial testing stations. These are dungeon-like experiences, which you and your friends can work through together. So here we are landing our various ornithopters outside of one of the desert testing stations, and we're going to head in as a group. Now, it's really important to prepare different skills and abilities. These areas tend to be more of a challenge, and it's great to work together.
Finally, we can see the frickin' skill tree. This has a lot more than I thought it was going to have, right, Freddy? Exactly. You know? So, dude, is there a Worm Rider skill? Okay, skill tree time. Shield wall ability. So you can go up and kind of out, right? You can specialize in something. That's what that is. You know, see that? This is 5 points available. Let's read these as they come up. Dart-proof energy field generated by the Holtzman effect. Sure. Level up this ability to increase his lifespan. So it's a temporary, you can block bullets. Okay. So, right. Yeah, right. Because if you can ride the worms, is there like a desert power skill tree? Okay. Reminds me of Titan. Yeah, right. You're going to see a lot of Destiny, a lot of Rust, a lot of Division. Yes. Yes.
To complement each other.
Shield wall. I'm just going to pause these as they come up so we can read them together.
So this is the skill tree. Here you can equip different...
This is the battlefield calculation. This is what we saw, the Mentat. There's 3 classes, Mentat, Soldier, and somebody else. I don't know. Can you mix and match? Can you have some Mentat stuff and some Soldier stuff? I don't think so. We'll see. Used to scan nearby characters and objects. They'll show their archetype, traps, and damage type they will deal. Okay, damage type is a thing. Got it. Increase the duration. So the cooldown's 20 seconds and it lasts for a minute. You can just keep spamming this thing. Right, you'll move forward in the worlds and you'll have to use it again. Okay.
Different types of abilities and techniques.
Hunter Seeker. So it's a remote controlled drone, like one tap something, right?
We have 3 slots for abilities.
Shield wall, we were just looking at that.
Yeah. Okay. And 3 slots for techniques.
3 slots for abilities, 3 slots for techniques. I don't know what the difference is. We'll have to see. Knee charge is this is the like up close dude. Okay. Holds aims to release a jump forward knee attack, concussive damage, heavily staggers. Sure. Cost stamina, level up to increase the damage. Sure. Okay.
And there are multiple different trees depending on the type of trainers that you've interacted with in the world.
You know the only problem about watching these things is I want to play it right now. We got poise damage, baby. Let's go. Let's go. The best part about it, we don't got to smell the still suit. That's not a joke. They do smell like sulfur and piss. It's very sad.
So our character here is going to equip a series
active abilities, and then we have available. Okay, so you can like unlock stuff and like mix and match as you need.
of abilities.
Slow deflection. Enter a defensive stance to deflect darts, bullets, and heavy dart range attacks. Okay, so you can literally like Jedi deflect stuff for a little bit of time, but it consumes stamina. So when you're out of stamina, it like goes away.
That complements the rest of their group.
Sick.
In this case, Swordmaster techniques.
Yes.
All right, so we're heading in, and of course you can use dispenser belts to traverse, as you'd expect. And we're going to explore this Imperial testing lab.
Yes, please.
You've entered Desert Botanical Testing Station number
Cool.
163. I'm Dr. Wen Olmeca, senior plant geneticist here at the station.
Testing stations have storylines, as well as enemies to fight and loot to be found. So you really want to go in here
Cool.
and enjoy the experience.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Playing
and I
through
will.
with friends, working together, using different weapons.
Johnny, which class did you pick up?
Yeah, I got a pistol, and I got a knife.
Pistol, knife, I got a flamethrower, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Weapons and trying out different techniques.
I like the Titan kick. I'm a Titan myself.
This player has placed out
Shield
a
wall?
portable cover. It's a different ability to what we've seen before.
Cool.
You see that the enemies here have shields?
Ah, they have shields, so the bullets aren't doing as much damage. Yeah. You can see here. You can see the enemies have shields. They've deployed shields, which keep them from bullets. But my friend has a freaking
Flamethrower, dude, let's go.
This is crazy.
Using the flamethrower, it's easy to get through a shield because you can burn the air around them.
Yeah. I love it. The
Of
shield
course, our
looks.
characters are a little higher level than they were in the start of this video. So you're able to see that,
Yeah, no kidding.
we can take people down a little more easily.
I like that it's more about which abilities and less about them having just a big health bar. So that's pretty good. Chat, ladies, is that Helldivers 2? If it is, I'm in, baby. I'm in. Okay. We said this in our last Dune Awakening video. The number one thing that's going to determine if an MMO is good or not is, does the combat look and feel good? From the outside looking in, it looks pretty good.
And of course, when you get to the end of these areas, you find these really cool loot chests. And in these loot chests, you find specialized components that are used for crafting exotic weapons and items.
Yes,
The
sir.
end game of Dune Awakening takes place in the deep desert.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Giant spice blows will happen, drawing players from all around to try and harvest the spice as quickly as possible.
PvP time.
You want to get there first, and you want to try and take as much spice as you can.
We saw
before
this
an
in the last
enemy
video.
guild shows up to try and take it away from you. Now, of course, if you're clever,
We saw that in the last video. It's still really impressive, but is a cinematic. So let's not you playing it. So let's give it a grain of salt, right?
and you start to lose the battle, you might place out a thumper. And that limits the time in which people are able to take spice. Because then the big worm.
Yo.
We're losing. Drop it, boys. Summon Shai-Hulud. I have only one master, and his name is Shai-Hulud. Get him in here.
Is going
That's
to show
pretty
up.
sick. The big boy. Looks pretty great.
Awaken.
Now this looks like it's more just trailer. Let's see if there's more stuff. This is literally more of the trailer that we already watched. Okay, looks like that's done. Y'all, this is pretty great. Okay. Look, hype aside, this looks like it has a very solid base. The combat does look good. The status effects, the intro thing, how it kind of shows you what's what. The crafting, the gathering looks interesting. I love a good crafting game, chat. As I've said, my buddy and I are playing Valheim. We're having a good time playing Valheim off stream, just chilling, you know. If you want Valheim guides, let me know, chat. I'm in the Mistlands right now. We're having a good time with it. This looks pretty good. The thing that's going to make this great is the diversity of these combat sites? Is it just the same Far Cry camp over and over again? You know, is it like Fallout, hey, a settlement needs your help again kind of thing? Or the dungeons, just a cookie cutter dungeon again and again? One of the favorite things about Elden Ring was that while the dungeons were similar, each one had its own unique flavor. So if every single dungeon is just the same enemies, but this guy has a shield, there needs to be some more diversity to it, right? Now the game is just coming out as well. It's a new game, so we'll see what that looks like over time if they add more stuff to it. I like the varying abilities. We've got up close, we've got guns, we've got tactical mentat stuff. I'm pretty sure we've seen in other publicly available things that there's like a Bene Gesserit tree, so maybe you can use the voice. I think you can. I think I saw one of the parts of the trailers that's like a thing. So this makes me want to play. But as always with any of these games, let's curb our excitement for just a moment that how this is implemented is going to be a big part of this. If it looks like it is more like Rust, where there's going to be an individual server, you know, you get your Benedict Cumberbatch mode where you see, I'm going to your mind palace chat and you can see everything, you know, what the heck. This is pretty cool. If it's like Rust, where it's all on a server and everybody's kind of sharing areas, that is what I'm thinking it's like. I like that, because if this is like World of Warcraft, where it's all on one big server, and there's going to be a real real estate shortage, because everyone's going to claim stuff and all the best spots are going to be taken, and then, you know, that's kind of it, right? We'll see. I like the skill tree. Skill tree looks interesting. Looks very Division-esque. That was always good. I like the skill usage. The combat does look good enough and fluid enough. The animations are a little clunky. There needs to be a little bit more work there. Sure, fine. But the base of this looks good. Not okay. Good. And that, I think, is the most important part. The crafting, the building. I like that there's a community aspect to it. You can craft some stuff. You can make some vehicles. The dynamic events chat. The Sandworm thing was real sick. We don't gotta sugarcoat it. That was really freaking awesome. But is it just going to be the same every time? Is it going to be annoying after a certain amount of time? I don't know. We'll have to see. If it's just the same every time, that's it. This kind of reminds me of Valheim, this event reminds me of Valheim of when you're on the turtle in the deep ocean. And if you mine the barnacles on the back of the turtle, eventually it sinks. And you're like, oh, gotta get off. That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Hey, if y'all like some Valheim guides, maybe I'll make some, right? So, you know, we'll see about it. I mean, this again was like the highlight of the trailer, chat. It really was. There's no other way to put it. This was the best thing to see. You know, what happens if the worm eats you? This was incredible. Seeing the worm show up on you and I'm very excited for that. And this is a little one, right? Maybe the PvP zones are the biggest places where the worm is, right? Like and then the worm eats the various things, if that happens. What do I think? I think this has a lot of potential. I think that you're going to see more coverage of this, honest coverage, and don't pre-order this. Do not. I don't advocate ever pre-ordering games. Wait until you see more reviewers like me do stuff, which we're going to be doing. So make sure you check out our gaming news playlist right here and sub for more Dune Awakening news and guides. Hopefully in the future, if the game is good, we'll make guides on it right here. We'll see you in the next video, y'all. Thanks very much.